positive ones. But what you need to find is the z-scores. Now, all of these, if you look, they are doing less than. That's what we're doing automatically in the book. To do the greater than ones, like B and C, you need to say 1 minus what you get. So basically, if I put in, let's say I have a z-score of 1. If I want to know how many people are at z is less than 1, then I go look up a z-score of 1 in the front of the book. I go down to z of 1.0, and it's 0.8413. So 0.8413. So basically what I'm saying is 84% of people are less than 1 standard deviation above the mean. But if I want to know how many people are above 1 standard deviation above the mean, how many people scored more than 1 standard deviation above the mean, greater than, then I take the answer that I got in the book and I say 1 minus that. So that shows me that about 15.87 or about 16% of people score above 1 standard deviation above the mean. So the two that are greater than, those are the two that you need to do that for. Now, the last one, part D, where it's in between, you basically need to look in the table for the z-score at 2.85 and look in the table for the z-score at negative 1.66 and subtract those. And it'll be the in-between. Okay, so if you find one z-score and the others, if you find one probability for that z-score for 2.85, if you find the probability for that one, and then you find the probability for negative 1.66, and you subtract them, you'll get the in-between part, and you don't have to worry about the greater than or less than. All right, problem 22 says it wants to know the point z with 25% of observations falling below it. So that would be what z in the book gives me 0.25 in the probability inside. And then the point z with 40% falling above it. Now 40% fall below it, and our table only shows above it, and the table only shows the part below it. Then how much is below it? 60% or 0.60. So we want to look for the z-score that has 0.60 as the probability in this area in the middle. Okay. All right. 23. It gives you men. It tells you the mean is 69, standard deviation is 2.5. It wants to know what percent of men are at least 72 inches tall. Again, you're going to use your z-score formula to find that. That would be 72 minus 69 divided by 2.5. That gives you the z-score. To find the percentile, either use the table in the book or do normal CDF in the calculator. Same thing for B and C. And then in 24, it gives you the mean of an IQ test to be 110, the standard deviation to be 25. We've done that before. It asks you what percent of people have scores above 100. So again, 100 minus 110 divided by 25. That gives you the z-score. And then you want to find the percentile either from the calculator in a normal CDF or from the table. Part B, what percent have scores above 150? Find the z-score, subtract it from 1. Or after you get the probability, you subtract it from 1 because it wants the part above that. And then how high an IQ score is needed to be in the highest 25%. So what gets you in the upper 25%? Again, you can find that by using the z-score formula for that. Okay, so try to work through these problems. They should be okay tonight. I don't think it's too hard of a homework assignment, but you should be able to work through these. Z-scores, normal curve, normal CDF, all of this is how we take data and make it normal. That means make everything between 1 and how many standard deviations it is away. Just because you got a higher score, so for instance, just because how this relates to real life is really just because you got a higher score on your say you went to chemistry and you made an 80, but you went to statistics and you made a 75. Well, you might come home and say, I did worse in statistics, but that may not be true because the average score in chemistry maybe it was a 90 because it was an easy test, but maybe the average score in statistics was a 70. And so maybe you scored above the mean in a higher percentile with a higher z-score on statistics, but in chemistry, that 80 was actually below the mean and a lower z-score, and you scored at a lower percentile. So your grades aren't always exactly what they say. So be careful with that. And I need you, hopefully, do the homework, do it correct, and ask me any questions on Twitter if you have them. Thanks. Have a good day.